Hey everybody, it's Jordan and this is my third video blog for the Paleo Challenge. I am currently halfway through the fourth and final week, but I wanted to talk to you guys about my third week. I have an admission to make. I went to Portland to see my mom and my sister and I cheated. This is a picture of me very excited to eat a glazed donut from Voodoo Donuts that was about the size of my head, and I may or may not have had two. So I apologize to myself and anyone else who's following me, but I wanted to make this post a little bit more about tips, and that brings me to my most important one. You know, when you're trying to change your life, the way you eat, learn a new habit, it's almost inevitable that you're going to mess up. And that's okay as long as you get right back on the wagon. I think a lot of times when people mess up, they use it as an excuse to continue to mess up, and you've just got to get right back at it. I also think that becoming aware is one of the most helpful things you can do. You want to become aware of what foods and what situations are triggers for you, and you want to avoid them. Like physically avoid them. Dr. Phil, I think, once said that willpower is a myth, and I don't believe that willpower is a myth, but I do think that sometimes you just literally have to avoid places and situations in order to meet your goals. I also think becoming aware of what a craving feels like and being able to tell yourself, all right, this is what I'm going through right now. When you see that piece of cake and the voices start rationalizing all the reasons why you should eat it and you want it so bad, that's the most important time. And I think if you have a couple tools at your disposal, you can make it through and become successful. And number one, like I said, just being aware that this is what's going on. This is a craving. Also, becoming aware that your body is literally physiologically changing. If you look at a pastry, your body immediately starts dumping blood sugar to make room for more, and it makes you feel like you truly need it. I think, though, if you're aware of, this is what my body's doing, this is why I'm feeling this way, I don't actually need that pastry, it makes it a little bit easier to push through. And I like to have just like some sayings that I'll tell myself. Like when I'm right in the middle, it's so tough. I just want to eat, that piece of pizza or whatever. I tell myself, as good as I think it's going to feel to eat that pizza, it's actually probably not going to feel that great. I'm going to feel horrible after eating it. And then I imagine how great it's going to feel when I push through and I don't succumb to the craving. And also, every time you're able to beat a craving, it's almost like a positive domino effect. You prove to yourself that it's actually not that hard. You can do it. You've been doing this good for so long, it gets easier. And I also think that a lot of people, they don't make it the whole 30 days or they don't successfully change their life because they have this misconception that it's always going to be this hard. And the good news is it's not. It gets easier. And you're literally training your body to react differently. For me, sugar. For other people, it's other things. But it's an addiction, and the longer that I do not have sugar in my body, the less my body wants it. We had pizza and chips and Starburst at work the other day, and I very easily said no, just because I knew how good it would feel to eat it wouldn't be anything compared to how good it would feel to successfully say no and continue on with this challenge. I also want to quickly go over some of the foods that I ate this week that I thought were really good. My favorite thing that I cooked was Brussels sprouts and chorizo. I took those and some garlic, peppers, and onions and sauteed them in coconut oil, and it was delicious. I was actually sad after eating it for almost 3 days straight that it was gone. I also made a blackened cod. I cooked it in ghee and wilted some spinach, garlic, pine nuts, and portobello mushrooms and kind of mixed it all together, and that was really good. And then tonight I'm making a ground beef chorizo mix, making patties out of those, and then putting sliced avocado and tomato on top, and I'm anticipating that to be really good too. learning how to cook better and better makes paleo easier and easier. And as I've said before, making the time, not having the time, because none of us have the time, but making the time to cook and meal prep makes all the difference. And the further along you get, the easier it gets. And all of a sudden, one day you wake up and it's no longer a diet, it's a lifestyle. I feel already, almost at the end of week 4, more calm, more centered. My body looks good. My energy levels are good. My skin has cleared up. The bald spot's still there, but that's okay. And I plan on continuing to eat this way into the future. So yeah, that's my 3rd video blog. I'll have another one coming up. And thank you guys for tuning in.